songs that are a little what we call sexy. You can see from the title, it's more of a love album.
All right, welcome to another week of Manversations 2020. I'm so glad everybody's tuned in. Right, great dialogue for you guys tonight. It is basically, can you identify or tell us what is wife material? I think it's a great topic. As you guys know, one of our panelists, one of our hosts, is married, so I think it'll be best if we hand that over to him because, I always talk about how representation matters. So you definitely want to hear from somebody who is definitely living in that field. has did the work and has gotten on that level. And I know when it comes to women, women always be like, "Oh, well, you don't have a PhD, so why are you talking about this subject? Or you're not even in that field. Why are you talking about that? You don't have kids. Why are you talking about?" Okay, then we're gonna give you somebody who's in that field, in that range, doing everything, and let them tell you the blueprint and the work that they put in and the things they recognize to find themselves a wife. So without further ado, we definitely hand it over to Major. And Major, you can let the people know so that way they know how to go out here and search for what is wife material and end up in the realms of being married like yourself.
Yes, yes. Shout out to you, brother Anthony. Shout out to brother Bobby. Shout out to everybody out there listening. All the fans, we love y'all. This is an important show because I think that it's one of the most important things in the world that a man can do when he chooses a wife. One of the most important things in his life. You know, you see a lot of these guys lives spiraling out of control, and they're getting into all type of beef and drama and complications that, you know, if they would have just chosen better, they wouldn't be involved in some of the drama that they're having. The perfect example is the situation with Cardi B's husband and Offset's husband. You know, suddenly they got a beef because they married these two low energy, low quality women. Um, at the end of the day, fellas, as simple as this: it's case sensitive, yes, but there are some universal things, you know, that go into a wife material woman. You know, I would say, first of all, you know, there has to be the utmost respect and admiration that has to come from a woman who's wife material. You know what I'm saying? She has to respect you beyond understanding, and she has to admire you, because those things are going to inform the way that she interacts with you, and those things are going to make it so that you don't constantly have to fight this battle of submission or not submission, whatever the case may be. There should be no excuse or conditional submission. No excuse for non-submission, and no conditional submission. She should respect you as the man in the relationship from day one. Period. If she has a problem with that, she doesn't come to you in the spirit of compromise and in the spirit of cooperation, you don't need her. You know what I'm saying? Above and beyond that, it needs to be someone who is in your corner, someone who's rooting for you, someone who's got your back, someone who is willing to be your helpmeet. People like to throw that word around a lot, but don't really know what it means. You know, it's pretty simple. You know, the woman's duty is to help out. You know what I'm saying? That's really, at the end of the day, to help you see your vision through, whatever that vision is, to help, you know, help you facilitate the path to get to where you gotta go. You're supposed to have the vision. She's supposed to assist. She's supposed to be, you know, the one who is your helper, your assistant, your co-pilot, if you will. I think is the way that Anthony put it on one of our episodes. So there's got to be that. And at the end of the day, she's got to be a woman that you're comfortable with the qualities that she has, to the point that you want to see those qualities come about in your offspring. You know what I'm saying? That's very important. You know, when you start talking about high quality women, women that are wife material, which of these women has the qualities that you want to see in your daughter? Which of these women has the qualities that you want your son to understand how a woman should be from her example? You know, these things are all very important, you know, and it is case sensitive. You know, every man has his different uh flavor of how he'd like his woman to be, but those are just some of the main ingredients, I think. You know, you have to have someone respectful, you have to have someone who knows how to carry herself, someone who presents well, and of course, you know, beauty and sexual attraction are extremely important too. You know, if she's all of those things but you can't look at her every day, well, that's a problem. Your eyes going to wander and you're going to want to, go astray or whatever the case may be. And something else before I forget, someone who really has the genuine qualities that you look for in a best friend. Your wife should be your best friend. I can talk to my wife 4 years later, 3, 4 in the morning every night. We never get tired of each other. We just gel. You know what I'm saying? Somebody that you can see yourself waking up to every day for the rest of your life. That's hella dope. And those are some of the things that I think constitute wife material in a universal capacity. Are you still there, Ant? Your screen is dark. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm here. I had to log out and log back in.
Okay.
So I was told that my screen was frozen, so I
Yeah.
had to log out and log back in.
Okay.
You guys can see me now. Am I good now?
Yes, we can see you now. Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
cool.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
that's a very dope breakdown. And like Quita was saying, that's facts on what the universal code and universal strategy of basically to find the mate that you're looking for.
Mhm.
Bobby, you wanted to add in anything from the aspect of going towards that realm and that journey?
One of the things, and it's funny, because I was talking about this earlier with some people. There's a question that's been kicked around, and probably everyone's seen it or been asked it or thought about it to some extent. And the question goes: would you rather have passion in your marriage or relationship, really? But would you rather have passion? Would you rather have dedication? So way back, way when I was much younger, my answer, based on what I thought I knew and understood about relationships, was that passion is what's important. Because passion is what keeps the fires alive. It's what keeps you interested in your significant other. Passion is what's gonna keep you guys always in the honeymoon phase of the relationship. Passion makes for an exciting relationship. A lively relationship, and it does. And passion is important. Both things are important. But now that I'm older, I've done some things, I've seen some things, I've heard some things, I've experienced some things firsthand and secondhand. I realize that the foundation of a relationship and ultimately the foundation of a marriage, it can't be passion, because passion is emotion. And we know that there's nothing solid, nothing long term, nothing lasting that you can build on emotion, because emotions are like farts. You got one moment pass it, and then it goes the next minute. You can literally
Hilarious.
be, hilarious. It's funny, but if you think about it, no, you miss a fart. No matter how loud it may be, how long the smell might last, how horrible the smell might be, um, ultimately it's only going to be there for a short period of time. I mean, you might remember how it smelled or whatever. You might remember the different senses behind it, the way it sounded and everything, where you were when it happened. But ultimately, that's going to fade pretty quickly, and before long, something else is going to pop up that's going to preoccupy you and have your attention and have that
True.
place in your mind.
Right.
So, passion is good, but it can't be the foundation of your relationship.
Agreed.
Dedication needs to be the foundation, because dedication is what's there in the morning when you first wake up, when the morning breath is there. When you have to smell that, they haven't brushed your teeth just yet. They roll over and maybe the makeup's not in place, or maybe the hair's kind of all frizzed up or whatever. The little accessories are out there. You're looking at this person barefaced in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the beer belly's in place. Maybe some stretch marks are present. Wrinkles are there. Dedication is what takes all that and says, you know what? I've made a commitment to this person. And
Right.
every morning I wake up, I choose this person all over again, because that's how our marriage keeps on going.
Yes.
Dedication puts your needs, your wants and desires to the side and says, I'm going to prioritize my spouse. I'm going to prioritize our children.
Mm-hmm.
That whatever I'm doing, it's bigger than me.
Correct.
People talk about building a legacy and a foundation. Dedication is what makes it happen. You can't build a legacy and a foundation for your family off of passion. what happens when they say something that's going to piss you off the next moment, or they decide they want to hold a grudge, they can't let something go, they want to keep this going on or whatever, passion's going to die out.
Real talk.
So one of the first things you need to have, or one of the first things that makes qualify someone for having be wife material, which is what the subject is you need a woman who is about dedication. Not
Agreed.
one who's a doormat or a stepping stone, or who's self-deprecating, but you need somebody who's dedicated and is willing to say, you know what, I'm willing to take one for the team, with the understanding the other person's also going to be taking one for the team. It's not going to be a one-sided sacrifice, but it's both sacrificing for each other for the good of the relationship. So my insight on that is that's where it begins, and then everything else can be based off of that. But it doesn't matter how intelligent she is, how attractive she is, how much wealth she might come from or have to her name or whatever. All the other little elements that you look for in the significant other, how funny they are, communication skills. If the person isn't dedicated, if they aren't committed to the success of this endeavor, this lifelong endeavor, then nothing else really matters. I mean, you look at the divorce statistics, they're through the roof. We also know, especially considering that women file the vast, overwhelming majority of the divorces anyways, the most valuable attribute that a woman can have is that dedication.
Right.
Because there's brothers out there, and we don't just mean the dusty dudes, but there's a lot of thorough brothers out there who are concerned and are hesitant about getting married because they understand, the minute you're in there, the minute you say I do, they start getting paranoid about, how long it's going to be before she goes and pulls the trigger.
Right.
And before, you're in court fighting over custody, you're fighting over assets and everything else, because she didn't have the heart to stay in it.
Right.
So, that's a key element right there. I think that's one that get talked about enough, but it's one of those things that, when it's not present, you feel it, right?
Right.
So that's my little 3 cents and some pocket lit that I found.
Well said. Very well said.
It looks different for everybody. What looks pretty much the premises of what is wife material for Major looks different from Bobby, looks different from myself. We all have what we feel we need in our system. And that's why a lot of women get mad at times and they'll say that hoes are winning. These are women that normally say that hoes are winning is normally women that admire that guy that they're looking at, and they see that he has a woman that they feel is beneath them. And so they'll look at him and say, hoes is winning because he picked a hoe over a person like me who they feel like is quality. And a lot of times you don't understand it's not that hoes are winning, it's what he needs in his system to survive and function. What keeps him whole as a man, maybe she's the one that's provided that best attributes out of all the women he's encountered. So even if he was to give you the time of day, as much as you look good on paper, your paper doesn't mean nothing depending on what his system requires. And that's why a lot of times, when you look at the job part of it, you'll sit here and put a fancy resume up and you might be just a low budget, low quality minimum job. And then the job will look at your resume and be like, it's very impressive, but you're overqualified for the position. Yeah. It doesn't mean that you're not a great worker. It doesn't mean that you wouldn't provide things to the company. It just lets you know that what you are versus what they're looking for, you're not it. And it's not saying that they're looking for something more. They might be looking for somebody less, somebody that, wants the bare minimum that they're giving, and they know that you're a qualified person who, if you get in this situation, you're going to ask for more, So you got to understand that it's a system that guys are basically aligning themselves up with a woman, because if, like Major was saying, the helpmate, you helping me to be a better man. In return, by me being a better man, I provide you more protection, financially provision, whatever it requires, because we align as a whole. So it's very important that people got to understand that aspect of it, and not the aspect of thinking that you're better than everybody you see somebody else with that you may desire. And I know men, I'm talking about it as far as women, but I know men, you guys that are low quality, men might see a woman and you like, you can't get her, and you feel the same way as well. So understand people align up with what they feel like they need in their system. So I just wanted to say that. Bobby made a great point about statistics. I did want to put that up real quick. First divorce rate, 2001, Bowling Green State University did a marriage research survey, and marriage to divorce ratio based from best to worst. Overall, the other, like Asians, American Indian, Alaskan Native, multiracial women, basically marriages to every one woman who are divorced. So every 3 marriages to 1 who are divorced. Hispanic is 2.5 marriages to every 1 woman who's divorced. White women, 2.1 marriages to every 1 woman who's divorced. Black women, 1.6 marriages to every woman who is divorced. Next one is Black women. Is the only group that had a higher divorce rate, that marriage rate, with nearly 31 divorces per 1,000 married women. Age of 15 and older, only 17.3 marriages per 1,000 unmarried women. Hispanic women, 18.5 divorces per 1,000 married women. White women, 15.1 divorces per 1,000 married women. Other, Asian, American, etc., 12.4 divorces per 1,000 married women. Next one is first divorce rate of race by ethnicity, the navity of males and females in 2023. In 2021, Black females 24.5 and Black males 22.6 experienced the highest divorce rates, 24.5 to 22.6 every 1,000 respectively. Both Black men and women are leading in divorce per 1,000. However, Black women are the only group that are the least married and most divorced. This is why Ebony K. Williams brought attention to the subject. And what's the next one is, I think I did this one already. Okay, so that was that one. Oh, let's go into this graph that you see. Women marriage to divorce ratio, marriage divorce ratio by race and ethnicity, 2018. As you can see, to the left is white, and you see the median of in the orange, which is the divorce rate. So you see the 2.1, 15.1, 32. All right. So then you see Black is 1.6, 17.3, 30. And then Hispanic 2.5, 18.5, 33. And then others is 3, 12.4, and 36.6. So you could basically see on the charts the different levels that are reached by each group. All right. We just did this. It says Asian males and females have the lowest first divorce rates, from 7.7 to 8.3 respectively of 1,000. All right. So that's just to give you guys perspective in that ratio. And like I said, there's more charts and graphs. If you guys want to go, you can definitely check that out. But I do want you guys to know that even though we put that up there, we like to highlight people that are going through divorce, but we never highlight the ones that stick around for a long time. The one to the bottom left, of course, you see Will Smith. You can cancel that one out. But that's when he was with his first wife. By oversaturating the media with the images of Black men with white wives, white media controls of having manipulated many to believe the falsehood that most Black men prefer white women. In reality, only 7% of Black husbands in the U.S. have white wives. 86.5 have Black wives. And we don't talk about the longevity of Angela Bassett's marriage. We don't talk about the longevity of Denzel Washington's marriage. We sure don't talk about the longevity of Omar Epps' marriage.
Mm-hmm.
Also,
Mhm.
our
For sure.
brother Morris Chestnut's marriage, and
Yes.
also Flex. Flex was
Flex
married to a
Alexander.
woman. I was in crush
As
with
well.
his wife. His wife is Shanice, which I play her song on my radio all the time, and I did not know he was married to this woman for so long. So,
Yeah,
you know,
man.
media doesn't highlight the aspect of that, greatness, Black greatness, and we have to be the ones to highlight that. So I land my plane on, and you guys can take over from there.
Well, shit, I just want to point out, just add a couple more to those. You got Lorenz Tate, you got Ice Cube, you got even more Black men. I go on my page and I go out of my way to give those brothers their props because, like you said, the media, the white media, they don't never talk about that. And Black folks don't never talk about that. We're always talking about the problematic relationships, the people who, the guys who recklessly just spread their seed all over the place recklessly, like Tristan Thompson, like the Nick Cannon, so forth and so on. There are plenty of Black celebrities that have been married for a very long time to a Black woman. There are plenty that some sister tried to come on my page the other day with this nonsensical list. These NBA players, it was about 18 names on the list. It was like two lists. One had Black women, one had like Blackish women or whatever. And it's like 18, 13 names or whatever. And I was like, no, that's wrong. And stop getting your information from Lipstick Alley. This is not accurate information. Smart sister, but the information was smart sister, but the information was bullshit. And I just had to tell her, look, I can name, and I named 3 NBA players that have Black wives that weren't on the list. And I pointed out to her how, these people go out of their way to put lists out there like that to kind of smear, Black men and say, well, and create the image that Black men, at least the ones with money, we don't want Black women somehow. And that's nonsense, man. And we have to be able to push back against those things. And, we have to use our noggins a little bit and understand that you just kind of consider the source sometimes, and push back against falsehoods, whatever the case may be. True, I still do think that too many Black men, in that capacity, the Black men with money, the affluent Black men, there's still too many of them that do think that, the white woman is a prize and that she is somehow better than the Black woman. And we got to tighten that up. We got to fix that behavior. Conversely, sisters out here who, subscribe to a white feminist mentality and try to achieve a white female look, you're not helping the situation. Somebody put up a post last week when the whole Travis Kelce situation was going down, and they commented, that he's with the white woman again now, and the caption read, "Why settle for imitation when you can have the real thing?" And I laughed my ass off because at the end of the day, I agree. Why you got a Black woman supposedly with all this foundation to lighten her complexion and a white woman weave, and some color contacts trying to look white as hard as she possibly can when you could just have a real white woman. So on both sides of the spectrum, I think there's a little work to do. Yeah, brothers, you got to tighten up. Stop cooning. A white woman ain't no better than a Black woman. A Black woman understands you and your experience. Sisters, stop trying to look and act like these white women. Be yourselves. Be more natural. That's my little 2 cents on that. There's quite a bit more to say, but I want to keep it brief. Let Bob get on the mic, whatever the case may be. I could go on all day on that one.
So I'm gonna definitely show you guys this meme. It just pointed out to what Major was saying, and then I'll turn it over to Bobby. And this person says, funny how no woman says Taylor settled, but will say Rihanna dating ASAP Rocky is settling. So I just found that very interesting.
Yeah.
So you can take it over, Bobby.
Interesting.
No, you have to be very, very conscious about who's informing you. I've been critical for the longest time that too often in Black society, uh, we've allowed people to be lazy and just give us half baked GMO, uh, um, artificial journalism under the guise of these gossip blogs and rags and people that refuse to do their due diligence and actually put in the work to become a full fledged journalist and actually report real news and real issues.
Real
And they
talk.
settle for little tidbits of nonsense online. And unfortunately, too many of us put stock in the media takeouts, the lipstick alley, the kissy, Denise, and all these nonsense, whatever that's out there, and treat this BS like it's some gospel. Um, you couldn't have the Wall Street Journal or the New York Times or the Sun or or the Miami Herald or legitimate periodicals publishing and putting out the nonsense that these rags do, because the minute they do that, they can be held accountable for it, considering that they're supposed to be reputable sources, and they're putting out nonsense that has no real legitimacy behind it, no actual sources. They can just say whatever, and it's insubstantial. Even TMZ, as
Mm.
tabloid as they can be, they've not because they're so decent and they're so above board and don't cut corners, but even they've had to become more journalism centered because there's such a huge platform that when they open their mouth and say things, if it's not 100, the people they're speaking on, it's no, they'll take them straight to court and
There you
sue
go.
them, bleed their pockets. And
Mm-hmm.
so, just self preservation, they have to go ahead and keep it 100 and at least have some verification. Now, they make up for it. I mean, way before anybody else, they be on the scene. They
Yeah.
put boots on real quick and they drop the news real quick. But even they've had to become more reality based and substantive with their information they put out there.
Mm-hmm.
Someone taking the effort to go ahead and put out a list of all the black male athletes that are dating non-black women, it's absolutely ridiculous.
It
I don't
is.
care if you put 50 athletes, 50 athletes that are dating or married to non-black women.
Right.
When you look at the size of these leagues,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to crunch the numbers. I've seen them before, but in the NBA, you have 32 teams. You have an average of 15 players per team. So 15 times 32, somebody can do the math. I'm not going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a lot of dudes in the NBA.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So let's say you found 50 brothers that are with non-black women. How many of you think the rest of those are with them? And they're not getting any shine. They're not getting any play because they're not the star of the team, maybe, or they're not all in out the headlines. The NFL, it gets
Precisely.
even worse. You got 52-man squads. That doesn't include the practice squads that they have out there as well. 32 teams.
Right.
You multiply all those and crank the numbers. If you get 100 that are with non-black women, you can be sure that just based on statistics, the rest are more than likely with sisters, and they don't get any play.
True. True.
So
And
then, understanding how numbers and statistics work, what is the purpose of putting out this false information as if when brothers get successful, they go to the other side of town for Who is informing you? Why? What's the purpose? A
right.
lot of these people are the ops, and you have to use your mind and understand what's going on.
Mm-hmm. Real talk. And
to, to
go
break
ahead.
down real quick before you go, to break that down, 1,600 based on the statistic. I mean the numbers that Bobby put out there. 1,600 individuals playing in the sport. 32 teams, 50. That'll give you 1,600 people. Out of the
Mm-hmm.
1,600, only 50 of them are dating outside, which gives you 3.12%.
Mm-hmm.
Which would
And
beat the average. Supposedly, so I think they say like what 12 or 13% of black men marry out their race, whatever. So if that was the case, that would beat that average by a country mile, which means you're doing pretty good.
True.
Yeah, so take it over,
And
Major.
this is the thing. What I was saying to the sister who was bringing up this statistic, which was provably false. I was like, the bigger problem, the larger problem that you really need to be looking at is that most of the players in the NBA aren't married at all, and they're not thinking about marrying. They look at marriage as a trap. They look at marriage as a negative thing. They're not trying to marry a black woman, a white woman. They're not trying to marry nobody. That's the issue. You understand? Because at the end of the day, if you have more and more, these men are greatly influential. It's not just them, but when they talk in interviews, Stephen A. Smith was just talking the other day about how he'll never get married, so forth and so on. He's a very big name. And it's a trickle down effect. People follow what he says. What he says has weight. And then you look up all of a sudden, you're like, damn, well, black men are just not wanting to get married no more. Now that's the larger problem, that they're not marrying at all, that marriage is considered a negative thing in black society among the men increasingly. That is the problem. Who they marry, we already deal with, black women an overwhelming amount of the time. It stands to reason that that's going to continue. But, the more that marriage gets, exposed as a trap, and presented to the community as something that is negative, the more problems you're going to have. And I explained to her, marriage is really broadly an institution that protects women more so than anything else. You got all these women out here, trying to have hot girl summer until they're in their 30s and 40s, and it's blowing up in their faces. Look at Tia Mowry. Look at Lala Anthony. This is, you're not going to go and have a resurgence when you're not in your prime and just have all the men running after you, ladies. That's just not how it works. So yeah, those are some of the things that I wanted to highlight, because we have this very weird type of cultural shift now where you have the older women trying to mock what the younger women are doing. We've never had that in black society before. The elders are out here doing the most ridiculous things, and they're teaching this to the young girls, and then the young girls who are out here with no guidance and, getting some of this bad advice from these older women. I call them old lady saboteurs. We talked about this before. You got the older women mocking their behavior. Where they do that at? You dig? So it's that type of thing going on. We got to tighten up on that, family. That's not a recipe for success in any capacity.
I agree. And talking about the the Tia Mowry situation, Tia Mowry says dating since her divorce has been exhausting because men don't court women anymore. When I was dating Corey, it was beautiful, amazing, and wonderful. Men are now just looking at women as objects. And then she got checked. And this is the thing. A lot of times people don't understand. A lot of you women and men out there, you guys are walking hypocrisy. You guys say one thing and then do something else. And then when somebody calls you out on it, you're very defensive about it. So Tia went on her Twitter and said, just because the dating life is complicated doesn't mean I'm going back to something that no longer served me. That's like saying if I don't book an audition a part right away, I'm going to give up my dreams as an actor. Please just stop. This ain't we. Please move on because I have. Thank you. Next. And the girl replied and said, that's a lot to say, especially at 6 a.m. I would never address this publicly. I know we all handle things in our own way, but God damn, I would be too focused on my life and my kids to comment on my ex-husband. their father.
Mhm.
Boo boo, I'm in Europe traveling the world, so it ain't 6 a.m. Also, you ain't me either, so think it's best to stop projecting your life onto mine. Focus on you, not me. Next. And I think the reality of it is when she talked about it, because there was interviews that you could tell she really wanted to go back to her husband, but because there is the women get pressured around by friends and by what people think. Sometimes a lot of women will not pursue their happiness because they don't want to be judged by the women and saying, well, you left and now you going back, you seem weak. So they create this narrative that they put out there.
Women
and
keeping women single.
Yep.
Yeah, fall
Yep.
through with it. And it's killing them inside because you want to go one way, but you know that the world is looking at you. So you're like, no, I got to go the opposite way for them and not for myself. And I see that
Right.
happen so many times on local levels, dealing with women here. I've seen men deal with that so many times, and that's something that a power struggle that a lot of women put in their identity that they struggle with, because they don't know what true happiness is, because they focus on what other people think versus what they feel is good, not only for themselves, but also for your children.
Yeah.
And my plan on that. So you guys could take over.
Real talk. Go ahead, Bob. Man, I could go. Ooh, let me chill. Go ahead, man.
No. Go ahead and touch on it.
I mean, Tia Mowry is the gift that keeps on giving. You know what I'm saying? Like, we didn't ask your goofy ass to put your whole life on Front Street. You know what I'm saying? Blow up your marriage like the fool that you are, and now you out here, flailing around in the dating pool. Because at the end of the day, you're over 40. You're a single mother of two. You got a body like an 8-year-old boy. Like, nobody's checking for you. What really, like, seriously, who told this woman she was hot? Like, bruh, just stop. Sit down somewhere. And you keep feeding us all this stuff about your family and what you're doing on the dating scene. We didn't ask you. You went on an interview and started talking about what it's like dating now. Right? The interviewer might have asked you, but you ain't had to tell them nothing. When you say something stupid and we check you on it, oh, now we wrong. Sit your ass down. You know what I'm saying? Even your son got more sense than you. Your son is telling you to put on some clothes and go sit down somewhere. You understand? You're not meant to be a thought. Tia Mowry, you're just not. You're not thought material. Go back to your damn husband. Bruh, the reason that people rock with you in the first place and really liked you and really respected you is because you was not like these other hoes. That's why a lot of us rock with you. I was so disappointed when she started talking this silly shit. Oh, I'm not happy, or whatever, and it just blew up her marriage like that. She was one of the few black women in Hollywood with a black husband and class. I was heartbroken when I saw that shit. I'm like, damn, they got her too. And every time Aisha Curry starts acting stupid, that's another one. It's like one of the few black women in Hollywood with class and decency that shows respect for herself. And you letting these whores get to you and peer pressure you into acting like a dummy and fucking up your life. You go sit down on Red Table Talk. Well, Jada Pinkett done already fucked up her life. You understand? You want to be like her? I mean, come on, man. Like, this is the reason why I tell people, women that I know, I've gotten on, women that I know personally, recently, I've gotten on for having knuckleheads that they keep around, knucklehead friends, knucklehead associates that they know online. You understand what I'm saying? Because their knuckleheadery will rub off on you. You be posting these nonsensical things that don't make no damn sense, and people are getting on you and you're wondering why. It's because of the influence of these morons. You're smart, but you're a little too tolerant with the company that you keep. You know what I'm saying? And you know, you soak up some of their idiocy inadvertently, and you know, things just kind of come out the wrong way. But I really wish that sister luck. I really do. I am low key rooting for Tia Mowry. I want Tia Mowry to do well, but she got to stop making just unforced errors, you know, for no reason at all. Shooting herself in the foot. What are you doing? You had a beautiful marriage, beautiful family. You want to go out here and have hot girl summer. Because I mean, after the news came out that she filed for divorce, she was in her drawers on Instagram a week later. What the fuck is wrong with you? I'm just saying. It really irks me, man. Like, because you could tell that's not who she is. There's certain females out here, bro. They're nice, decent women. And this whole, you know, avalanche of thought and whole culture is influencing them so much to try and behave like something that they're not so they can fit in. It's sad to watch. It's sad to watch, bro. Real talk. And let me before you jump in, let me just add that I think this is very important to the wife material conversation. Having a woman that has a mind of her own and is not easily influenced is everything. That is everything, man, because right now, hoes are not winning, but they surely are controlling the narrative. And thought and hoe culture is widely becoming more and more accepted. And I see nice girls doing hoe shit every day. Go ahead. I'll land my plane there.
No, you said it very well. Nowadays, a woman that has her own mind and isn't subject to the hoe culture, slut culture, that's one of the gems out here. That's one of the infinity stones, one of the rare gems that you can come upon nowadays, because it seems that so many, even the ones that we would consider to be the best of them, you know, they fall prey to this nonsense.
Yeah.
This desire to fit in. And I've said for years now that as I get old and I just observe and I watch the way society moves and operates, that adulthood really is nothing more than second childhood. We still got the same exact playground politics dictating the order of the day that were the case back when we were in school. We still in the sandbox. We still play around in the jungle gym and the monkey bars. We still run around playing tag. We just have grown-up terms and names for it now. Grown-ass adults still subject to peer pressure. Like you're walking the halls, you try and join the mean girls, you try and be part of the jocks. Same exact principles going on. For as mature as we say that we are, and as intelligent we're supposed to be. Only difference is now we got some bills to go along with the nonsense, but ain't nothing changed. You still want to be accepted by women, so you go ahead and you get on the same rah-rah nonsense that they're on, even if it's caused you to take L's in your own life. L's that they aren't going to help you with, that they're not going to help you out of. You know, emotionally or relationship-wise, they don't have a pot to piss in, a window to toss it out of, or even dirt in the floor they can dig a hole in to dump it down. They got nothing.
Right.
But you want to follow their lead and allow them to influence you. Absolutely not. And I spoke the other day about how social media really has proven over time that it's not the technology. It's not that the technology is too powerful for us. It's just that we're too goofy. Because we still today, as long as we've had the internet, social media, I think the first real social media site was Facebook. Back when it was only for college students back in the early 2000s. It's 2023 now. We've had social media for at least 2 decades or so now. And we still got people getting in trouble for oversharing.
Yeah.
But trying to use the internet as their damn diary instead of going and getting some therapy. Instead of getting an actual diary and writing the thoughts that you have in there and and that's bad enough. But then on top of it, when people overshare, they put their business that no one asked them for, that even if they ask them for, they don't have to share with everybody. When they don't get the desired responses, now they want to go and lecture to people, mind your business, mind your business, pay you.
Right.
If you don't have something nice to say, don't say anything at all. All kind of goofiness.
Yeah, that's
Went
goofy
ahead
on
and
another
opened the
level.
door and let people come in. And you know what? If people have a positive thing to say about it, okay, cool. But there's no contract that says you are not allowed to weigh in on subject matter unless you approve of it.
Real
I,
talk.
I didn't sign that contract. I don't know if y'all did, but that
Nah,
was not in the fine print.
real talk. And you know what's even more annoying? The little minions, the little monkeys that run around and get in the comments and want to take what you said about said celebrity personally. Oh my God. Like because they'll tell you why you in their business because they put their business out there for the world to see, dumbass. That's why. And more importantly for me, I'm in their business because of their influence. You understand what I'm saying? These people, that their influence is so great that
Unfortunately,
people gravitate to them. People listen to them, unfortunately. And so you have to really check that shit, before it becomes widespread. You have to, because nobody's challenging this stuff. You understand what I'm saying? And so somebody
right.
has to step up and make people think about what's really going on. So I don't
As,
really care.
especially since they want to jump on the throwback Charles Barkley bandwagon of I'm not a role model. Okay, you're not a role model. You have this platform. You have this power just by virtue of having the platform that you're on, but you don't want to take any responsibility for it. Okay, cool. So that's what it is. Can't force you to do it.
Right.
But now then it's up to the rest of us to go ahead and do what you failed to do and provide some context, to provide some clarity, to snap us back to reality.
There you
Since
go.
again, you don't want to do it, so you just want to get up here with the cannon and just let it fire all over the place and cause all kind of damage.
Come on now.
But
Come
don't want
on.
anyone to go ahead and clean up the damage. Don't want anyone to go ahead and block the shots that you fired out here. You can't have it both ways. Either you
Right.
take responsibility for your influence, or other people are going to have to come along and censor and monitor you for you.
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly. I think, like I said, the walking hypocrisy. A lot of women are walking hypocrisy. They say one thing and do the opposite. Also, women are also being very reckless with how they go about relationships, taking some highly risk gambles with certain people and then getting burnt on the back end of it. And then when they get burnt on the back end of it, they go around and just do a smear campaign instead of taking responsibility for themselves. And
Yes.
I'll give you guys a great video that displays that. All right.
Everything was so good. Yeah, like what happened?
It was honestly going good.
Right.
It's when the whole chain situation came out.
Gunplay bought Rick Ross a chain.
Without my approval. People keep saying I married this man for money. There was no money to have. Like my dad was making sure we had, because when I met him, he was f***ed up. I married for love, not money. I wanted to help him because I felt like as your wife, I want to support you and bring you up. But don't sit here and act like you was Jay-Z or some shit. Let's be for real. Like my parents were taking care of me and a grown-ass man. Like I just felt like, why are we gifting somebody who's a multimillionaire a big ass chain? So that's where our beef kind of started. It's just like priorities. Like I felt like my priorities was my daughter, her health, and our finances. His priorities were, I want this certain look. And he was just like, oh no, I gotta thank my brother. Send his a thank you card.
So like, does Rick Ross be looking out for him? Like
I had questions all the time. I'm like, hey, he's like, oh no, I don't want to bother that man. Like, I don't want another man paying for my but you letting my daddy pay for your When I came into the picture, they weren't even on speaking terms. I don't blame him from distancing himself from Richard and us. Like, this is a lot of going on. You don't want that on your brand. I wouldn't. So we see like little baby now giving they $200,000 for their birthday, like shit like that all the time.
right,
So it was
yeah.
like,
So he didn't take care of you, like pay the bills.
when I met him, I had my own place. We hanging out. He comes spend the night because he was drunk.
Mm-hmm.
Well, a few days turned into a few weeks, and I'm like, okay, we gonna go home. He goes, we might as well just live together. Like I've been here. I'm like, you know what? F- it. You've been here. It's
Right.
been like a month and a half now. So I'm like, you know what? F- it. Let's move in together.
Right.
We moved in together. We was having fun off of my dad's expense. I found out I was pregnant. we're dating. We haven't even known each other long enough. Like,
Yeah.
what the am I gonna do with a whole baby right now?
Right.
And clearly, he wasn't nowhere near financially stable. So I'm like, damn, we finna bring a baby into a broke house.
You guys would always go raw.
Yeah. Well, at first,
Like, what percent would he pull out? Like half of the time or
majority of the time.
majority?
Don't be a dumbass like me. The love, the all that, it ain't worth it. Now I can go
So
back to my real stuff.
so he was better in bed than like the other guys.
I mean,
That hood hit different.
it was good, but
All right. So I just wanted to show that part of it because a lot of times she's a very intelligent woman. And you know,
Really?
yeah. And this infatuation with
The verdict is out on that one.
Hold on.
I don't know about that one. But okay.
No.
Let me, I'm not, maybe book smart, yes. Maybe book smart academic
Okay,
very intelligent.
That's what I'm talking about. Book smart, right?
Okay.
So the intelligent side of a book smart woman. You know, a lot of these women be sheltered, book smart, and they get infatuated with these thug-like dudes because they want to express the wild side, because most of them are pretty much sheltered and covered by their parents. And what happens is you trade that off to get with a guy that's on the wild side. Like, dude has always been on the lower level, energy level. And you don't do your research. You're very book smart, but you become dumb when it comes to doing your research on guys. And you should have known this. This is not something that this man has hid. Since he's been out, he's always let people know what kind of acts he be on or what kind of foolishness he's always into. And for her to be engaged in that, to catch up with the quote unquote fun of everything, and then now you have a baby, and you heard what she said. She's like, you're bringing a child in a broke home. Then your father's financing this man and yourself, you know, and you're thinking that because he hangs around Rick Ross that he was going to be doing the baby stuff, like what she gets. You see her face lit up when she was talking about how Baby was gifting his people's $200,000. So she thought that was going to come from Rick Ross, or Gunplay was going to get into that money to be gifted. And it didn't happen. It ended up being the total opposite. Now you're stuck with a child, and now your market value has dropped heavily, because even though you have a child, it's who you have a child with. No man quality is going to deal with the bullshit that your child's father deals with him and brings on. You know what I'm saying? He can't even conduct himself in a damn club playing 50 Cent music without him popping off, throwing trash cans all over the place. So, you know, a little thing will pop off, especially if you're a heavy drug user. You know what I'm saying? So that type of stuff right there, that's red flags all across the board. So even if somebody was interested in you, they wouldn't take you on because of the baggage you bring on the other side, which he is attached to, because that child is attached to both parents to 18. And then after that, they can pretty much do what they want to do. But for 18 years, I have to deal with that. No man's going to put up with that. They're going to shut the door, close the door, walk away from it, and go find somebody else. It's over 2.5 billion women in this world. I'm pretty sure he can look up and find something way better than that doesn't have the baggage that she come along with. And a lot of women are in these situations and predicaments where they are having children from no good dudes, and then complain about why they can't find quality men. And this is why men are out here telling you that, you know, they don't want to date women who have children. Now, on the flip side of that, fellas, stop creating children with women without going through the process of dating, engagement, marriage. Find the solid way of doing it, the concrete way of doing it, and lock them down. Because a lot of you guys are creating a lot of single women who now have children and now are going through the struggle on that end, and then you having to do the struggle on your end, because now another man who will come into the picture, now you're going to have rift with that, because that man might treat your child a little bit better, And now you get into the whole Russell Wilson future situation, and it's not a good look. Bottom line, it's not a good look. All right.
Truth.
So I wanted to break that down in that form and let you guys, basically see it in that aspect of it. So I'll turn it over to you. Major, I guess you wanted to get some, state what you had to state.
No. Bob, you can go, Bob. I'm good. I'm gonna chill. Let Bob get it on this one first. Go ahead.
Um, there was just so much wrong that I heard with that.
Mm-hmm.
Just too much wrong. I got so much too much wrong. All manner of red flags. And see, the crazy thing is, she gonna open her mouth when it's all said and done and say things like, "He changed on me," or "I didn't know." On that highway to hell, there were just so many exits. So many you had to run right by that, end up where you did.
Right.
Unless you're legally blind, there's no reason why you should have ended up where you did. And the concerning thing is, and the plus side for at least where the men are concerned, is that because she has a child already, and because of who the child's father is already, it's easy to label her as a red flag and a no-go, at least for anything serious. That's
Right.
easy. But the biggest issue isn't even the child that she has or who the baby daddy is. And those are actually the symptoms. The biggest issue, and we're talking what wife material is that her whole judgment, her decision-making skills are horribly off.
Mhm.
Yep.
The way that she thinks or doesn't think, her lack of proper judgment, her lack of discernment, her lack of wisdom, and then once you made one bad choice, not at least having the sense to realize, you know what? No, we're taking too many L's here. Time to abort. Hit the do like Tyrese and Too Fast Too Furious, eject Cedo cuz and just pop the top and escape. She just kept doubling down on another bad decision after another one after another one. It's like watching somebody in Vegas on the tables, and they keep taking L. They somehow got up to maybe $1,000, and they keep on dropping. Now they're in the hole, and you can tell they're about to walk away from the table with less than nothing at this point, and just can't get out when the getting is good.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
Real
want
talk.
a woman that thinks like that or doesn't think like that. I don't want that raising my child. You were going to steer my child all kinds of wrong. I'll have to be playing all kind of goalie and defense positions to try and undo the damage that you're going to steer our child into. I can't trust you to take care of the house when I'm out the picture, or when I'm not around, or if I'm relying on you for counsel, or as when I'm going to you as a back. Hey, babe, what do you think about this? I'm thinking of making this kind of decision. I can't listen to you and take what your input seriously, because I know that you're a liability.
Mm-hmm.
And the reality is that you have women who think just like her, and for one reason or another, they might not have the child or the crazy ex-boyfriend, whatever, to serve as a flag. But there are women who think or do not think properly and are just like this. So this is very much a problem, and unfortunately, her situation and her story is not uncommon. In fact, it's very common.
Mm-hmm.
The names may change, the location is different, number of children from 0 to more might vary or switch up, but it's still the same case where you have women who are absolutely horrible with making important decisions, not even lightweight stuff, not what to wear today for work, not what to eat for lunch, but in the decisions that matter most, that ultimately affect your quality of life, and in some cases the quality of your children or other people close to you in their lives. They're horrible with it.
Right.
These are the women that will benefit the most from having a strong leader as a significant other. And unfortunately, the vast majority of them have or will shoot themselves in the foot with a shotgun and never get a chance to get that straightening that they so desperately need, man. And
Real talk.
incest.
Real talk. Well said. Look, I'm gonna put it right here, man. Put it where the goats can get it. First of all, before I say anything else, my main issue with whenever you see this type of thing, you are a low energy, low quality bird. If you are on any podcast airing out your family business to the world, straight up, that's the first thing. You know, she's sitting up here smearing this man, dragging him through the mud, talking all kind of shit about him. But you laid up here and had babies with him. I think she was married to him, whatever the case may be. I don't want to hear it because that's just a reflection of you at the end of the day. You understand what I'm saying? And all this shit you talking ain't nobody else's business. You understand? That doesn't have anything to do with anything. You know, and people let these type of chicken heads off too easy. You know what I'm saying? They let them off. In fact, my wife, I was sitting down watching the last episode that we had, and my wife was checking me on something. Like, we let Delicious off too easy when she made her comments on Sukihana, whatever the case may be. And I was trying to let her live because she was trying to tell this animal to not behave like an animal. But my wife made a very good point. She's like, the reason that we have Sukihana is because of Delicious. And I was like, shit, okay. You know what I'm saying? Because think about it.
That's on point. That's on point.
Delicious was among the first batch of women to go out here and make a fool of herself for $1. She was on Flavor of Love, you know, where they got all these women, these beautiful women, you know, to chase after this, you know, dude that women ain't really checking for. Let's just say it that way. You understand what I'm saying? And it was a joke. The whole show was a joke. And the white folks that were the producers, they knew it was a joke, and they knew that these black women would jump at any chance to clout chase and quote unquote get on. And that's exactly what they did. And Sukihana's reply, her clapback, was reflective of that. You slept with Flavor Flav. You ain't scared of nothing. She's right. You went on a show and made a complete ass of yourself for a chance to be with Flavor Flav. You understand? You were the first Sukihana. So you can't say shit. And she still embraces thought and whole culture. Notice in that exchange at the end, she was talking about how she's such a big Sukihana fan. So we let her off a little too easy. You know, and I agree with it. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, we got to check all this shit. This chick is this chick who was just on that interview you just played is a low energy chick that doesn't have anything to contribute worth listening to the dating and relationship conversation. All you want to do is get on there and settle a score because you feel like, you know, you didn't get your come up that you were supposed to get because you bet on the wrong horse. Boo-hoo, goddammit. You understand what I'm saying? I don't want to hear it. You know, that's on you. And if you really did marry for love, then you wouldn't be talking all the shit that you talking now because you mad that you didn't get the nigga trinkets that you were supposed to get. You would still have love. You love him. You love him. Okay, well, you still got that. Why you bitching? Back to, you know, what we were talking about how some of these females are walking contradictions. You know, you need to tighten up. You're talking out of both sides of your mouth. Nah, bruh. It ain't gonna fly here.
Definitely.
I also need to say something really quick because talk about not letting people off.
Sure.
And especially in the light of talking about how Delicious was the forebear of the Sukihanas and the Sexy Reds, because that's very true. We have a habit too often, and sometimes it's obvious, sometimes it's not as obvious, and this is one of those moments of jumping on the person who reacts to getting hit by the rock. But we don't get on the person who threw the rock in the first place. They throw the rock and hide their hands. And when the person gets hit, they want to wild out. Everyone wants to get on them and you know, rah on them. And they don't say nothing about the person who got the ball rolling in the first place. And And so that's very true because we get on the Sukianas and the Sexy Reds and all them, but sometimes we forget about the ones that came before and made the pathway to them. And we understand how generations work.
Shout out Lil Kim.
Generation, the generation that came after, they always going to do it up a notch compared to one that came before because they passed the baton.
Yes.
And so where that sister's concerned, I have to really go ahead and take her daddy to task because that nigga flat out failed his daughter. He failed her in her youth as she was growing up as a man that she's looking to as her example of manhood and masculinity. He failed her then, and even in her adult years, he failed her. You know, because I'm wondering why she finds the type of dude that she was dealing with attractive to deal with, and supposedly you're the first example of manhood for her.
Real talk.
What was it that you did and or didn't do that led her to this path where she saw that this was a good look in the first place? You failed, brother. That's an L on you.
Real talk.
Yeah. And then on top of that, she's here dating this dusty dude. Now, to be honest, I can't recall 100% if she made any mention as to whether or not he was aware of what was going on or not. So I'm gonna maybe not fully empty the clip on dude just yet. But if you are aware that your daughter, your child, is laid up with this dusty ass nigga, got nothing going for himself, broke, you out here tricking in front of them, and you basically funding this dude to lay up with your daughter. And I'm sure he had to be aware to some extent because there's two people in the household now. That's two mouths that are eating. That's twice the air conditioner that's got to be paid for. You know, the expenses go double up. I'm sure that water bill's going up. You know what it is, nigga. You out here paying for a grown ass man to lay up and shack up with your daughter. And if you weren't aware, then once the baby came in the picture, you had to be aware of what's going on. And at no point did you lay out an ultimatum. Either you let this nigga go or you cut off. Enabling not only her, but also enabling him. Providing him no incentive for him to get himself together and get his act together so he can become a better man for himself. Right. You failed, brother. You failed. And so everything that led us to there and ultimately to the culmination of them, I guess, filing for divorce, dude pulling a gun out on her and the child, ultimately you were the one who helped them get to that moment in time.
Right. He facilitated all that shit. Real talk.
Enabling doesn't make things better. Enabling only make things worse. You got to let people hit rock bottom. And unfortunately, if they die, they die. But if it's ever going to get, if there's going to be any chance for it to get better, you have to allow them to reach the bottom and come to their senses.
Real talk. Well said.
You didn't do that.
You're right. And like I said before, there's a lot of book smart women that are in this situation. I've seen them day in, day out. And like you say, the leadership in the household, what does that leadership look like? Because for you to push your children to get all this education, there's a saying that old folks used to say, I might be some dumb, but I'm not plumb dumb. And a lot of people are plumb dumb, you know what I'm saying? Because you have the education, you have the knowledge, you know what's right, what's wrong, and you still get sucked in based on an infatuation or this kind of fantasy, you know, to be, you know, fetishize this hood nigga that's going on from generation to generation. And that's why we as a collective group have to put an end to that. We have to stand up against that bullcrap because more and more people are being subjected to it, you know, and we even see on guys go through that and getting the goofy girls that's out here doing dumb stuff. And when you look at them, you're like, oh, these dudes got a little bag and these women weren't checking from them before. And now all of a sudden they're getting the likes now. And you're like, yo, this goofy dude shouldn't even be picking this type of woman, dog. Like this is a whole different type of woman that you picking up. You're picking up, you're trying to make a hoe into a housewife. And that's the same thing as the Richard Gere Pretty Woman, right? This
Right.
guy was very book smart and everything like that. And you could have any woman in the world. You want to go pick up a prostitute and clean her up, and everybody has that now narrative that they want to clean people up versus aligning up with people based on their strengths. And that's why you have a lot of crossbreeding and mixing of procreating with people that you shouldn't be procreating with. And then the offsprings, we just having some bizarre offsprings out here. It's crazy.
Right.
Back in the 1920s, they used to procreate based on how they lined up academically with each other or how they lined up on the same level of each other. They never really went down to the gutters and lined up like that. They let the gutters line up with the gutters. That's how we kept a kind of a code of conduct and codification in our society. And that's why we breed so many geniuses in our society as well, because we weren't conflicting with the different type of mentality, because one parent is so hood and the other parent is book smart and don't know no better. And then you're having these offsprings that's confused to which direction do I, go towards the hood parent or do I go towards the book smart parent? And, you have a couple that come out with both knowledge of both and succeed, but that's very rare and very, very minute when it comes to that. So, yeah, I just wanted to put that out there to show people, like, you have to be accountable for your actions and stop blaming people for it. And a lot of women like to do that because now she gets to go under the protective umbrella of victimhood. And it's like a lot of women are under that umbrella that shouldn't be under that umbrella because you threw yourself in the victimhood picture. You threw yourself in the hole and then begging people to come and bring you out of the hole. And I'm tired of that type of mentality that keep existing within our community. All right, so with that said, we definitely want to go on to our next first segment, which is the Trendly topic. I saw something that was very disturbing. And I wanted you guys, I wanted the opinions of everybody, because I don't know. Last time I addressed something like that, I was called out for kink shaming, right?
Man,
so,
that's a made up bullshit. That doesn't even exist. Oh God, this nigga. That's another one. He's the gift that keeps on giving. This dumb nigga. I hate this dumb nigga.
We have Kevin Gates, who spits in a fan's mouth on stage during the performance. Now, here's the kicker. The woman that he spit in her mouth is actually pregnant.
Jesus Christ. Oh God.
Pregnant fan lets Kevin Gates spit in her mouth during concert. So I wanted to ask you guys basically your thoughts on that. And in a relationship, we talk about relationship. How do you handle that as the child's father witnessing that, and your child isn't even born yet? Because you remember, everything that goes down to your mouth, through your mouth, parts half into you and half into your child.
You stop wifing up skanks. Simple as that. And at the end of the day, Tariq Nasheed has a classic episode of Mac Lessons called Wifing Up Skanks. I encourage everybody that's on here to go and watch that episode. It will increase your game exponentially. You got to stop wifing up skanks. Stop giving your seed to skanks. Stop banging skanks, period. You understand what I'm saying? And Kevin Gates is just a lowbrow bedbug. Everything this man does is disgusting. He's spitting in fans' mouth. Everything. This man is a disgusting human being. He's spitting in fans' mouths, talking about he wants Beyonce to piss on his face and all this goofy shit. And then, this type of degenerate nonsense is bad enough. He's spitting in the fan's mouth. What part of hip hop is that? Anybody? I'll wait. What part of hip hop is that? See, a lot of these guys from the South, Luke included, got his panties in a bunch when he wasn't invited to perform at the 50th anniversary, whatever. And I said, I'm from Miami, like the next man is from Miami. And I was like, well, shit, what Luke does ain't hip hop. And boy, people got so offended. Oh, what are you talking about? This, that, and the third, that. I was like, Luke don't even rap. He doesn't. He's a DJ. He gets on tracks. He hypes up the track. He gets some women to shake their ass in the video. He gets a nice beat, and he makes a good party song. But that shit ain't hip hop.
He's the Kirk Franklin he's the Kirk Franklin of
That's what I'm
Dirty South bass
saying.
music.
He does. He's the Kirk Franklin of bass music, precisely. That shit ain't hip hop. And a lot of shit that these younger rappers and these people of this generation do, that it may be rap, but it's not hip hop. You understand what I'm saying? And my question is, what part of hip hop or even showmanship is spitting in a fan's mouth on stage? That shit reeks of desperation and lack of talent. You understand what I'm saying? And this is a common thing. Every time Kevin Gates opened his mouth, since he kicked the chick in the chest when he was on stage, which was another. I mean, this man is the gift that keeps on giving. My God, can we trade him? You know what I'm saying? Yo, I don't want him in a black uniform no more. This nigga's a national embarrassment. Real talk.
Someone sent him a warehouse full of cake soap.
Real talk. I mean, this man, everything he does is an embarrassment. And he's one of them fake woke niggas that try to talk woke and he just end up sounding stupid. Oh God, this man, so nah, man. I mean, that's just foul. And to keep it in line with the story and alignment with what we're discussing tonight, that type of woman is absolutely not wife material. How the fuck you pregnant and you gonna go on stage and let some other random nigga just spit in your mouth in front of the world? It's disgusting. And we just have way too much of that in black society. This anything goes culture where you just do any bullshit to clout chase and you gain popularity that way. That shit got to go.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. I want people to know that this isn't just something that is, when we talk about things, we like to use celebrities, but there's real life people that go through this, right?
Yes.
Like when you ask me for stuff, like, why do you have to be so disrespectful? You see what I'm saying? This is what I'm talking about. Why you being so disrespectful?
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So, we get people that do this stuff. So when we address celebrities, we're addressing basically the regular population, because the celebrities, they do exactly what regular people are doing.
Yeah.
And that's so disrespectful for a man to tolerate that from his own girl. Spitting on somebody is the most degrading thing that I think you can do. And I don't know how we fetishize this shit to be a good thing. I don't get where that fetish comes from. But hey, it's neither here or there. Bobby, you wanted to chime in on that?
First off, I'm still trying to recover. I almost got offended for dude because I started seeing red for a second. That wasn't my face. I started seeing red. Man, boy.
And she knows she got the right one because she wouldn't try that on another type of dude. He's sitting there all calm. Fuck out of here. She wouldn't try that on another type of dude. She knows what she has. She knows he's weak. Go ahead, Bob.
I don't know any dude in his right mind that has the proper balance of testosterone in their system that puts up. The last time I saw a woman spit on a dude, the last time I witnessed that with my own eyes was way back in college, and I literally saw this dude that usually he laughs a lot, he jokes a lot or whatever. Gifted dude, dance, everything, just lay back, chill dude. The minute that spit hit him, he literally paused for 3 seconds to process what happened. He touched his face, saw it, and I've never seen dude in a rage that like he literally. I think his pupils might have actually disappeared. It was just like black slits. This large dude literally had to hold him back. He was trying to tear through everyone to rip her head off her shoulders, as he
Yeah.
should have. As he should have. If he was able to get hands on her and put the paws on, he would have been in full rights to go ahead and provide her the KFC family meal.
Uh-huh. Well, see, this is why I don't be out here caping for people who I don't be out here caping for people who, oh, you shouldn't hit a woman no matter what. You should no. No.
Nope.
Let me tell you something. Sometimes with these women, particularly these masculinized modern women that think they much man as you, sometimes you gotta knock the shit out of them. That's just what it is. I have seen women come after men with weapons. You know what I'm saying? Ready to do them physical harm. I've seen women spit on men. I've seen women jump up in men's faces and do horrible things to them. You understand what I'm saying? My advice is always to keep the type of woman around you and find interest in the type of woman that has self-control. You know, when you're dealing with a woman like that, you know, she's mad at you or whatever, and she don't even cuss or yell. She resorts to spitting on you first. What does that say about you and your vetting process? How did this person get past the second conversation? Because there had to be signs that this person thought this type of behavior was okay prior to you getting into a serious involvement with them. You cannot tell me that they're not.
You made a wrong turn somewhere.
Clearly.
Double check Google Maps. So maybe the thing conned out or something. You made a wrong turn somewhere. Get out the Randy McNally paper map if you got to.
What? I'm looking at
You
this
did
shit.
something wrong.
Bruh, this woman needs her
boy,
head checked.
And I would suggest that this whole idea, and I've been saying this for quite some time now, and I have yet to find anything to take steam out of my argument for it. If anything, I found more and more evidence of it. This whole idea of men aren't supposed to hit women has done a lot of damage to society because, unfortunately, that idea that men aren't supposed to hit women has put a battery in the back of a lot of women to do this.
Yeah,
and we've spoken about this before. As grown men, we understand it's a foregone conclusion. If I spit on Anthony, if I spit on you, Major,
it's a wrap.
Or you spit on one of us, we understand that there's a very good chance somebody's going to go to the ICU. Someone might even not be alive anymore.
Yeah, it's going down.
Proceed at your own risk. Someone might lose their life. We understand that. And so therefore, you pick your battles wisely. And if you decide you're going to take it to that point, you understand, you accept the risks that come with it.
Yeah. Real
but
talk.
Because women are told, well, men aren't supposed to hit you, and they understand, well, if a man starts hitting me, there's a chance that others are going to come in and intervene and save me from what I've done. That's put a battery in their back.
Right.
And it's also put some of them in jeopardy because a lot of them, when they do get popped back, some of them freeze up. They don't even have the good sense to keep going and keep fighting.
Right.
They're more outraged. You hit me. You can't hit him. Bah, bah, bah. So this is distorted people. The message that should be put forth is what they tell us back in kindergarten, apply to everyone. Keep your hands, feet, and objects to yourselves.
Yeah.
Don't start none, won't be none.
Right.
Because that's dangerous for all parties involved. But to address the whole Kevin Gates thing, all I'll say is, as disgusting that is, that's not nearly the L for Kevin that it is for her. Because first and foremost, I mean, while, again, I wouldn't advise anyone to do that, at the same point in time, that didn't affect Kevin any which way whatsoever. That did absolutely nothing to him.
Right.
She's the one who's pregnant. She's the one who has her unborn child in her stomach, and she's the one opening herself up to that, and all the whatever diseases or ailments or whatever Kevin got going on. Just the idea of it is disgusting. She's the one that's exposed her child to that. The first teacher of the child
Mm-hmm.
Your child's first line of defense and protection. This is what
Can
you
you
do.
imagine? Can you imagine
Shit
how
ain't even
fucked up
here.
that kid's gonna be?
I can't wait for the encore. I go a little further, but even I have my limits in some cases. I'm not going to say what I really like to say, but all I know is, that child's in for a rough life if some things don't happen first.
Real talk.
That's all I'll say. But I'll say typical Kevin Gates fan. Then otherwise, nothing to see here. I wouldn't expect too much from someone that would attend the show.
Right. I say that a lot.
If you want, I'm just saying.
I say that a lot too. You know, you got to keep in mind you're dealing with a Kevin Gates fan, and I'm starting to see this energy in other women. You know, I really side eye a lot of these women who are Cardi B fans and Sukihana fans and so forth. Like, what is it in them that you see that makes you gravitate to them? The same with men who are, you know, such diehard Future fans and, you know, diehard any other junkie fans. You know what I'm saying? Kodak Black or whoever.
You would not see this happen. You would not see this happen. You would not see somebody seeking it, and you would not see it being offered at a J. Cole concert.
Real talk.
Wouldn't happen at a Wu-Tang show.
You would never
You're not gonna see Bun B out here doing that. All right? You're not gonna see Kendrick Lamar out here trying to do that. You're not gonna see Royce the 5'9" out here trying to do that.
Water seeks its own level, man.
I'm just saying that's the energy. That's the energy.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's very disgusting and disturbing. But like you say, what kind of energy do you seek? And you know, just doing reckless stuff like that. But I did want to say before we move on that to hold Kevin Gates accountable for his behavior, because if anything goes on with her having an infection, because now you're dealing with a child. And two things in this world that people gravitate towards, that's children and animals.
Right.
And if she ever came out and said something that she had caught an infection, even though she was the one who volunteered to go up there, he still shouldn't have spit in a woman's mouth anyways. You know what I'm saying? So just, she didn't sign any papers. So legally, he could get messed up in the long run if something was to happen. So I just want to point that out because I don't want our future, you know, entrepreneurs and rappers and entertainers to go out here and do reckless shit and don't understand that there is consequences in all different directions. Yeah, it sounds fun now, it sounds viral now, but then later on down, somebody comes right back around and says, hey man, you did this to me and my baby has been affected. I need about $5 million from you. And guess what? You're gonna have to shell that shit out.
Real talk.
So you gotta be careful of how you conduct yourself. Just because somebody allows it, don't mean it gives you the reason to do it. All right? So
real talk.
We'll definitely go into our next topic, which is the question of the day. All right.
Okay.
So the question of the day is, do you feel that as a celebrity, let's say you're a celebrity, right? Or you're not even a celebrity, just say you're somebody who has money, and your family member asks you for a small portion of that money and you deny them that. Do you have every right and obligation to deny them, or do you feel there's some type of guilt where you have more money and you should at least reach out and give that to them? So I brought that up because Jay-Z has $2.5 billion and his cousin asked for $4,800 and he said no. To put that into perspective, that be the equivalent of somebody who made $50,000 a year being asked to give a dime.
I mean, well, if you asking me, no, he don't owe them shit. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the long and short of it. Your money is yours. Period. You don't owe nobody a damn thing. Now, if you'd like to give them something, you know, or you feel like you can help them or whatever the case may be, that's fine. But they wasn't with you shooting in the gym. They didn't put in them hours to earn what it is that you have. Period. They are not entitled to a goddamn thing. Doesn't matter how much you have, and I don't like people counting my money for me. You understand what I'm saying? Because just because I got it, don't mean I got it. You don't know what I have money allocated for. I might have 1.5 billion of that tied up, or the whole damn 2 billion. Or whatever. I might just, have the 0.5, that I can chill and I can work with, I can play with, and the rest of my money is tied up. You don't know. And it's not your damn business. People really need to get off of this thing where we worship celebrities and we expect as men for other men to do shit for us that we're supposed to do for ourselves. You understand what I'm saying? No. There is no, you don't have a leg to stand on. You have no argument. You know what I'm saying? I have people in my family like that, feel like, oh, I should give them money because I got all this money. Nigga, fuck you. No, I don't have all this money. Not for you. You didn't help me earn it, and you're not going to tell me how to spend it. No, that there is no place for that whatsoever, especially when you talk about manhood. As a man, you up here whining about what another man needs to be doing for your sorry ass. No.
Yeah.
That's
How you
why
a man
that's my
waiting
2
for the
cents.
next man to get rich?
Nah, bro, that's my 2 cents. Oh my God. I wish somebody would come at me like that. Good
Bobby, what
luck.
you got?
You absolutely you ace that serve, knocked it out the park, hit that tomahawk, backboard breaking dunk, all that.
Come on now.
You knocked it out the park with that one, man. Stop pocket watching.
Stop pocket watching, bro. That's
If you
slow as
don't
hell.
if you don't got one arm shorter than the other, if you don't make a tick tick noise on command, if you ain't got a whole watch face going on, stop pocket watching. Don't do it.
Real talk.
The president and Jay's character aside, because I know the argument can be made about Jay-Z and his character, and while that might be the case, even then, Jay-Z's paper is his own. That's his money. That's his ends. You're not entitled to it. Stop the entitlement. What would happen if Sean Carter never existed, was never born, and his relative didn't have a wealthy person in the family to ask that money for? What you gonna do then?
Yeah.
What they need
Knock
to
it
do, if you're a smart man, holler at him, have a conversation with him, see if he can bring you in so that you can make yourself a valuable asset and you can earn some of his money. You know what I'm saying? If you want to count the man's money like that, well, shit, see if you can make yourself useful. But just begging and expecting it, boy.
Who knows?
These
And
niggas.
one of the things that I don't like about these kind of stories is that there's a lot of context that's left out. So all we know is that this relative, and that's hella nosy for that to be out there, but this relative, who probably was salty and leaked information, leaving a few parts out, asked for just under $5,000, and big wealthy cousin Uncle Jay-Z said no. And the perception is supposed to be, well, Jay-Z's selfish and stingy, blah blah blah. We don't know anything about his cousin. Maybe this cousin has a drug habit. Maybe this one of those goofy cousins that always has some harebrained scheme or whatever, that always needs money. They got a gambling debt. We don't know anything. Maybe this cousin is irresponsible as hell, and Jay knows that he can literally piss money in the wind and get a better return on the investment than giving it to this clown.
Real talk.
But even if all that isn't the case, even if this was a responsible cousin, whatever, good steward of money, great ideas, even if all that was the case, Jay-Z still has the right to say no.
Period.
Because it's his money. He doesn't have to justify it to anybody. It's his money. Would it be great if he shared freely with others? Sure, I guess it would.
Yeah.
But he doesn't have to.
Sure doesn't.
And I don't think that necessarily is a knock against him if he chooses to say no as opposed to saying yes. He has the right to do what he wants to do with his paper. Stop pocket watching.
So I just want to wrap this up with saying that you was going down the same path I was going, Bobby. When I think that he had probably lent this cousin multiple money transactions before and it failed, and he's just coming back with another one, even if it sounds good. He's just like, yo, I exalted all of that stuff into you. I'm not seeing anything productive out of the money I'm giving you already. And sometimes you come to you have a boundary, a financial boundary that you say, you know what, you're not getting another dime. I don't care. It could be $5. I'm not going to give it to you because I invested in you so much, and nothing you have done with the money I gave you was end up being productive. So, you know, you have a financial boundary. I have a financial boundary
Even
with
better.
my family members. I have financial boundaries with my friends. Like after a certain while, I see that if I'm helping you out and you're still out here doing dumb stuff, then I'm not gonna give you any money to continue doing the dumb stuff. And I've created financial boundaries with some of my friends. Some of my friends can call me and I'll give them the money with no problem. I'll go draw it on my account and give it, because I know what they're doing. They're gonna do some great things with it, and then they probably might shoot me some extra on top of that. So yes, you have to create boundaries, and some of them is financial boundaries. So I definitely want to end it with that. And head off.
You learn a lot about people once you hit them with that note. You learn a lot about some people.
You do.
Yeah. Yes. I want to get to
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, and they have every right to say no, even if it's just for the simple fact, no, goddamn it, because I said so. They don't owe your ass an explanation. It's their shit. They don't owe you shit. It's so important to stress that part, because there are so many people out here that feel like they are entitled because you're doing well. They're entitled to partake in your well-doing. Hell no, you're not. You know what I'm saying? Pull your own damn weight. And speaking on people who ask for money, friends who ask for money, yeah, you got to put some financial restrictions in the game. A lot of the time, yeah, you know, and really and truly, man, if a person who is friends with you, that is on their shit and handling their business shouldn't be asking you for money no whole lot of the time. The occurrences should be few and far between. That's another red flag. But that's a whole other show. So go ahead, and I don't want to get on my soapbox too much there, but yeah, that's a whole other show.
All right, so our next segment is Dear Men. So we've been seeing a lot of this talk about body count. Does body count, Dear Men, does body count really matter? What are your thoughts on it? I've seen this come up. Dating a girl with low body count is also self-care. And there was a lot of things that he saw in his comments, and he was like, everyone out here is desperately trying to defend the black woman. Crazy. A lot of loose pussy energy in these comments.
Right?
And talk about poor pussy management. Imagine buying your son a cake, and then on your way home, you let everyone you meet get a slice, a taste, a lick, a piece. How would that still be special? They just had it first, and it wasn't even for them. So,
oh God, it always amazes me. It always amazes me the shit that people have a problem with. Sometimes that's more telling than anything. You know what I'm saying? I constantly hear women have a problem with this body count issue. Why? Why is it that you have such a problem with the body count issue? You shouldn't. Because women, any woman, I don't give a damn, except for somebody like Sukihana, right? Any woman will tell you that her goodies is her most prized possession, and it's so special, and it's the best, and it's this, and it's that, and it's that, and it's this. If that is true, you're not gonna give it to everybody. I mean, is this rocket science? You're not gonna give it to everybody. You're not gonna be out here juggling dicks like oranges if your pussy's so goddamn special, right? So Yeah, body count is important because body count tells me that you just running around hopping from dick to dick, changing dicks like drawers. No, you understand what? It shows me that you don't value yourself. Just like that slut that I had to block because she wanted, she got offended because I was putting her in check about, women who, and I was making perfect sense about women who have high body counts. It basically just shows that they'll sleep with anybody. Nothing is required to get some ass from you. You're easy. You're basic. You're a hoe. Why is that okay? Is the better question. Why should that be okay? People asking the wrong damn question. I guess why, it's become, no, I don't. I don't understand why that's even a topic. If you are a woman who is worth her salt and you give a damn about yourself, you ain't running around here hopping in any and everybody's bed. Because hoe and thought culture is accepted now. And you got the Lori Harveys of the world running around, hopping from this guy to that guy. Looks like she finally slowed down, thank God. And I hope she stays there and starts to take herself a little more seriously, respect herself a little more. I hate to see sisters. Huh?
Knock on wood.
Knock wood. I hate to see sisters out here not valuing themselves and not respecting their bodies. And then they want to complain about you objectifying them. What are you giving a man to respect when you behave like that? Yes, body count is important to quality men. If you don't want body count to be important for the women, for those of you women that have a problem with that, just keep dealing with the low quality niggas you've been dealing with. You'll be fine. Case closed.
All right, Bobby.
Bada bing, bada boom. I have been seeing this a lot recently. I don't know what sparked it per se, but then again, does this conversation ever really go away?
The simps keep allowing it. The simps keep allowing it.
Well, look, what I will say is this, because to be honest, the whole subject of chasing body counts is silly to an extent because the reality is, the vast overwhelming majority, this is about as close to an absolute as you can get, really. But the vast overwhelming majority of women will never be honest about their body count. They never will. It's rare to find that unless the count is really low, like maybe 1 or 2. In that case, they're probably. But the more the number goes up, the less likely they are to be honest about it. In some cases, they can't be honest about it because if it's a lot, they can't even honestly remember all the ones that they've been through.
True.
Especially given the circumstances. And based on what we know about this, even if a woman is honest with you about the body count, it's going to be hard to take her seriously because of knowing how women in general are with the subject. What I will say is that there are ways that you can kind of get a glimpse of what it is. So you might not know the exact number, but again, going back to the issue with Gunplay's ex-wife, whatever the case is, one of the reasons the concept of a body count is of relevance to an extent is because we're talking about proper judgment, decision-making skills.
Mm-hmm.
You are allowing people to literally go inside of your body. And we understand that when it comes to the transmission, the passing of STDs and infections and such, it's easier for women to pick it up than it is for men, just by sheer logic and by sheer nature of how sex works.
Mm-hmm.
The man is inserting into the woman, not the other way around. So by definition, it's very easy for women to pick up on things of that nature. It's also, the case where children are developed within the woman. A dude can literally go around like Johnny friggin' Appleseed and get a different woman pregnant 365 days out the year. Meanwhile, the woman is going to be the one who's going to be, from jump, stuck with having the child in their stomach, developing, and all the changes that come with. So the same reason why women lobby behind the concept of my body, my choice, For that same reason, it behooves women to be selective about who they give access to their body with.
For real. For real.
And if you racking up numbers, what that tells people is that the standards for admission here really ain't that high.
Real
You go to
talk.
an amusement park and they say you have to be a certain height to ride, you have to be a certain weight to ride. And in your case, the height restriction is very, very small. The weight restriction is pretty vague in general.
Mm-hmm.
So what does that say about how you think, about how you process, about how you reason, about how you take this very important act, both physically, emotionally, spiritually, the biological effects? When you get into the weeds, there's a lot of reasons why you should be very conservative with yourself in that restraint too. And to a large extent, that applies for men as well, but not nearly like it does for women.
Right.
So the body count matters, but not just because of the whole, not making yourself special for other people, because that's true to a certain extent. But more than anything else, it's the mindset. It should be an honor for a dude to say that he's been with you because it's so difficult to get up in there.
There you go.
But if you got a whole room, a whole squad, a whole convention center of dudes that could say, yeah, man, I had her back in 99. 99? I think she got better in the 2010s. Remember when during the pandemic? That quarantine version is where it's at.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be able to come out here and swap war stories about you and Yelp reviews about you. That's an issue.
Talk. And there are quite a few women out here like that. I've heard groups of 4-5 dudes sitting up comparing notes. You know what I'm saying, on how this chick is. And you make a good point that, you may not be able to necessarily know the body count. A lot of times they may lie, but I'm a very, very, very astute observer of behavior. And I listen like nobody's business. You know what I mean? So I have an idea just by the way a chick conducts herself of what her body count is like. And whatever. And, when you ask these questions, you can pretty much, the type of woman that informs the answer can give you an idea as to whether or not, that there's any there behind what she's saying.
Yes.
My wife, for instance, I assumed based on a good many things, that I knew about her that, she was probably a lower body count person, and other women that I dated. I mean, just the simple strength that, hey, I don't go to clubs. Women who hang out in clubs leave those clubs with men. You understand? That's the long and short of it. For the most part, women who hang out in clubs, they're in the club every week. A lot of those chicks go home with those dudes that they meet at the club. This chick, she never been to Iguanas. She's 29. Are you serious? You understand what I'm saying? Things like that. Where do you like to go when you hang out? I'm a homebody. How many serious relationships have you had in life? Really only one. Damn. You know what I'm saying? Like you had one serious relationship, you start to think, okay, well, this person doesn't go to clubs. They don't go out. They're a homebody. They only have one serious relationship. Well, how many guys have you dated seriously? See, these are other questions that can inform what is being discussed. How many guys have you dated seriously? Maybe 2. Okay. Then you ask the question like, okay, well, what do you think of casual sex? Oh, I don't do casual sex. Well, shit, she just told you she only had one serious boyfriend and dated 2 guys seriously. Right? And she doesn't do casual sex. Those are the types of women that based on her conversation, you can start to take her a little more seriously. You know what I'm saying? When she tells you she has a low body count, a woman like that, you can believe it. She don't do casual sex. See, guys, this is why my book is going to be so instrumental in dating, you know what I'm saying? Whatever, because I'm telling you the type of questions to ask. You know what I'm saying? A lot of guys, they don't know the proper type of probing to get the information without getting the information. Then when you after you've asked those couple questions, well, shit, you've only dated 3 men seriously in life, and you don't believe in casual dating. Or another good one. Have you ever had a one-night stand? No, I don't believe in those. These are the type of answers you should be trying to get out of women. You know what I'm saying? On a realistic level. And you can see by her behavior, does it match up with what she's saying? And you could draw a conclusion. You know what I'm saying? That's the key. She can tell you anything, but if she's a good time
and observe.
Exactly. I've had to break up forever. I've had to break up with women. I've had to break up with women before because they want to be out every weekend partying. That ain't lining up with what you're telling me. You understand what I'm saying? You want to be in the club all the time. You go to the office for happy hour every week. I'm sorry that you just don't seem like no lady to me if you hanging out at the office every week at their happy hour. No. There's something wrong with that. It don't sit well with me because the office, it's not even just a place where men hang out. That's a place where the gangsters hang out, thug niggas, like the crustiest, cruddiest niggas in the city hang out at the office. And I know some of those guys. I don't want my woman in there. You did? Like you gotta know the ledge a little bit, man. You gotta gauge the person you're dealing with. Sometimes they'll tell you so much without having ever told you anything. But go ahead.
Exactly. All right. So we go into our final subject tonight, which is hell yeah, hell no.
Yeah.
We run through these real quick.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get it. All right. Jen and May.
Let's go.
Hell no.
No.
Hell no. Team Jeezy.
Yes.
Shit.
Hey. No.
Hell no.
All right. Tyreek Hill.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Fastest man in the NFL.
Definitely.
Actually, tonight, hell no. He's murdering my fantasy team.
Ah.
Cussing out my coworker in the morning. I'm hella salty.
Atlanta Black Star Online.
I'm gonna have to say hell no. They have too much of that Bucci news. Bucci cat news. No. I can't do it. They have some good stories sometimes, but too much bullshit.
All right.
Too much poison with the candy coating.
Yeah.
Blue Ivy.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah. Blue Ivy getting the little dances.
Matter of fact, hold up. Big up to Sis. And I gotta tip my hat real quick to Beyonce for that, to putting a shout out that making some very intelligent decisions. I don't know if that was her own idea or how that came about, but that's a brilliant idea. As being one of the biggest entertainers in the world, being married to one of the biggest entertainers in the world, that kind of situation you got going on, by default, your child is going to be in the limelight. You might as well flip that into something, and to get her prepared possibly for a life doing what you're doing. Maybe she's not a singer. Maybe she's not a dancer, or that's not her thing. But that's an amazing experience to be able to give your child. And say, I did this when I was young. I did something that most adults, people never get to imagine doing for themselves. I got this kind of exposure. If I go in this direction, I already got my brand name set. That's an amazing, unorthodox way of building a legacy for your child and giving them something they can bang off of. That's amazing parenting by Beyonce and Jay-Z. And what's amazing, I don't follow Beyonce like that, but just going based off some of the clips I've seen, the pictures, it's amazing to watch that child's confidence really bloom like that. And as critical as I am of the Beehive, and for good reason, I can definitely appreciate and give them credit for giving that child a lot of positive reinforcement and to really helping build that child's self-esteem up. That is dope. That is amazing. I love what's happening there.
Hell yeah. And she can dance her ass off too. She was a little, it took her a while to get it, but now she got it. She nasty with it.
I think that was nerves though. Because you know what I mean?
Nasty with it.
This isn't performing for your little kindergarten recital. You were performing at one of the largest tours, one of the largest events in the world at this time. One of the hottest ones. Everybody's there, all kind of highbrow people damn near killing their savings bleeding their 401ks to attend this. That's
No
a lot
doubt.
of pressure on his shoulders. I would expect that it would be kind of scary if the child could just hit everything right the first time out the bat.
Yeah.
But she's developed and coming into her own, and that confidence is going to be bulletproof going forward in life.
That's what's up. Yeah.
All right, Stephen A. Smith.
Hell no. Too much cooning. Next.
Rod Wave.
Samuel A. Smith.
Rod Wave.
Uh,
Hell yeah. I like Rod Wave. I
don't really listen. Not that I avoid him, but I don't really listen to him like that. I heard a couple things here and there, but I'll say hell yeah. He hasn't hit me yet. Don't know if he will ever, but
Check him out. He all right, man. He is. Kind of like a new school Nate Dogg.
Lala Anthony.
Hell no. No. Sorry. Got nothing. I got nothing.
I'm rooting for her though. I am. I really am. I want her to win.
Fushnickers.
Fushnikins.
Bless you.
Hell no. I'm sorry. I never liked them, dog.
What is that?
Fushnikins, man, that group from the 90s. How you know Stellar Dwellers and you don't know Fushnikins?
That's with Shaquille O'Neal. What's up, Doc? Can we rock?
Yeah. He was Shaq Fu. Fu. Last move. We don't got nothing to prove. Last move. Them niggas.
I like Fushnikins. I like that was my group.
Okay.
I haven't heard that brought up in a grip.
Shaq Fu was my nigga, dog.
I'm gonna give him hell yeah for the culture. I thought you.
Yeah. Red Table Talk.
Hell no.
No.
Hell no. Some of the most toxic shit to come out in the last 20 years. Hell no.
I'm gonna cut this camera off right now. Don't do that.
Tay Diggs.
Hell no.
No.
Hell no. Ever since he dressed in drag, no.
Don Lemon.
Hell no. Hell to the no.
Lemonade as well.
No.
Janet Jackson.
Hell yes. Hell yes. We wouldn't have a Beyonce if it wasn't for Janet Jackson. So shout out to Janet.
I gotta have a Janet Jackson day this week. Matter of fact.
Okay.
I normally do my R&B soul vibe on Thursdays. Last week was my wife Ari Lennox.
Okay.
But this week, I shoot. But this week I think it's gonna be Janet. I gotta go dig in them crates.
Yeah, Janet is nasty. Shout out to Janet Jackson.
Huey P. Newton.
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. Of course.
Okay. Mekhi Phifer.
Scare me, bro.
Yes. Hell yeah. Mekhi Phifer. Yeah. Definitely.
I love Mekhi Phifer. I need to watch some of his films. If you haven't seen it, matter of fact, I'm gonna start there. If you haven't seen it, you have got to watch O. Classic, underrated film that nobody talks about, but it's a modern reimagining of Shakespeare's Othello with Mekhi in the role of the Othello or O. Gotta watch that. Him and Josh Hartnett. Excellent. Josh Hartnett. Excellent film.
Okay.
And August Alsina.
Hell no. Jesus. Oh.
This Mr. Light Skin Alsina. Light Bright Alsina.
Hell no. Oh.
I like
that guy right
music.
there.
I like some of his music, but
just too boyish.
He's not okay.
Man.
He's been through a lot, but I need him to get him on the right way. Sometimes when people break, I've spoken about this before, but when people break, you can't say for certain how they're going to break or what have you. He's been through a lot, and I don't believe that he's bounced back and healed properly from the things that he's been through, and I think that's kind of swayed some of his things. I'm gonna give the brother a hell yeah, because I believe that he's come a long way. He's been through a lot that a lot of people would have crumbled from, but I really want the brother to get on the track to wellness. He needs the right people around him to facilitate
Real
that
talk.
too.
Real talk.
If if you're listening to this and if you're clicking with August, he's family, he's friends, you know, you have his ear like that, really, really get that brother on track, man. I want him to do well. I really do.
Real talk. I agree. I just want to put it out there, man. But the reason I paused, I have a different hell yeah, hell no list. I guess my other entries didn't save, so I'll just save them for next week. Because I thought he was gonna say another name next. I'm like, what the hell?
I got to cut. We got to cut.
Oh, okay. Got
so
it.
you fucking up the shit, telling people.
No, you good.
I got to cut, man.
You messed with the count, bro.
All right.
We got a snap count.
Fucking list. Like, all right. Last segment of the night.
Yeah.
Crown check. All right. So definitely.
Yeah. You know why I'm here.
Crown check. So the crown check is going to be somebody local. I saw something that I felt like, she's been doing great work, been under the radar. And one of our co-hosts that was supposed to join on with us, but he had issues with, he had a lot going on in his conflicting issues with the show on 8, as you guys know. So I do want to give a shout out to Tashia Horner.
Okay.
For what she has been doing in the community. She did something so great, which was, she's like a she's a grateful, proud chief alumni. With the assistance of Keys Hall, we presented an initiative from our literacy department to our fellow alumni. We would like to thank everyone who has donated so far. This morning, I wanted to send a special thank you to 2 individuals that went above and beyond to help push the initiative. I text Ricky LeBron what I wanted to accomplish, and without hesitation, he pushed the mission forward, soliciting his contacts and for folders of our students. Then Tim Dean personally took care of making sure all lower level literacy teachers had the crates, so we needed to house the students' work folders. I can't thank these 2 enough. Y'all are very appreciated. To everyone who purchased from our Amazon wish list, thank you. We're more than halfway to our goal. If you would like to be a part of the donate, as the list in the comments. Tavares Dean, I tagged you, but I can't find Tim on here. Just make sure you get the message, please. This is her with another gentleman that was out here doing great work. This is her again. So I definitely wanted to give her a shout out because of the simple fact that she went out of her way to basically start the literacy department. And when we talk about financial literacy for our children, it's so very important. And for her to take the initiative and get the resources from Rick that you guys know has been you guys seen on the flyer, super dope dude who assisted with that to get that done. And I just wanted to show that Black men working with Black women, we can get a lot of great things done. And that's the reason why I wanted to present her tonight, because the combination of Black men and Black women, whether it's friendship, whether it's relationship, whatever the case may be, when we work together, we create great things, and great things are produced from that connectivity. So I just wanted to leave y'all with that for the night, and I'll let my host, y'all two close it out for us. That's it for this week's show.
Yo, hey man, wonderful show. Love y'all to life. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. I see Mila Renee, I see Amun out there, I see Mona Lisa in the joint, Quita. Shout out to all of y'all. Thank you for joining us. Yo, we appreciate y'all. This is an important show, man, because too many of our sisters out here in this day and age are not valuing what it means to be wife material. And that may be different for every guy, but being ladylike is a huge part of that. And I am increasingly seeing a number of sisters that are not valuing womanhood generally, and being ladylike and valuing the things that women contribute to relationships. Women are so preoccupied with being able to do what a man does that they're not focusing on being able to do what a woman does. And that is harming our relationships. Yes, wife material is case sensitive. It is different for every man, but there are some things that are universal or should be universal. And you need to be working towards being the best woman that you can be so that you can fit into these men's programs. Get a quality man, be a quality woman. That's it at the end of the day. You know if you're a quality person, and you know if you got a lot of work to do, if you're honest with yourself. It starts with being honest with yourself and doing the necessary work to attract the type of mate that you feel that you are deserving of. People always talk about how they deserve the best of the best, the best of the best. Are you the best of the best? You got to be the best to attract the best. And I'll land my plane there. Ladies, I know you can do it. There are some of you sisters out there that are kicking ass and taking names. You're very discouraged because you're not able to find the type of men that you feel are on your level. And sometimes that is true. But I encourage you, do not give up hope. Do not become a lesser person. It don't look pretty in the end. It just doesn't. Do your best and claim your best. I'll land my point.
Well said. Drake.
In summary, I know I spoke about it a little bit earlier, but I want to leave this one towards the end. When we talk about wife material, the biggest thing that a woman can do in being wife material is to be coachable, to be moldable. And one of my brothers, shout out to my man JC, Intellectual Sniper JC, author. Follows page, good solid brother, good content, excellent thought points. He spoke about this a little while ago, and I remember when we got to this topic, and I want to pull it up and share it. I'm just going to really quickly read what he put. And he put, when I talk about molding, the trigger think it's abusive, toxic. And they say you're taking away from the woman. No, you must build a relationship to be successful from the ground up. The man must be the clear-cut leader from day one. Not day 99, not day 300, day one. Most modern relationships, after everything fails and it's hardship, now he's the leader. Women are not children, Sniper. No, women are not children. But women absorb and download so much bad information in their life, they must purge. By the time many of them meet a quality man, they're clueless. A masculine man has to do a mental power washing of all the modern society filth and junk. This power washing of patience is a gift to the feminine. No woman is coming perfect, none. But the best women are coming ready to fully receive from the man. She's able to fully receive his instructions, guidance, correction, resources, and his culture. All that is his covering and protection. These media outlets teach women to enjoy his resources, but not his correction. And when a man is molding the woman in integrity, he can show grace, he can be forgiving, he can stand and hug by her and hug her through her mistakes. It's okay, baby, I got you. But when you do it the modern way, the repeated failure way, it's about the woman proving that she's just as smart, capable, strong, empowered, hardworking, and worthy, only to wind up being just as tired. And so we know a lot of women are talking nowadays about how, they're saying, they finally realized what men have been saying for the longest time. I'm tired of being a strong black woman. I'm tired of being strong. I want to be vulnerable. I want to be this, that. They finally realized that, hey, this is not all that it's cracked up to be.
Real
the solution for that is to get a man who takes it off his shoulders. But again, like you said, you can't just come and try to treat it like a charity box. I want the benefits, the gimme, but I don't want the accountability. I don't want to surrender anything. I want to go ahead and be this independent thing, but reap the benefits as it doesn't work that way.
Real talk.
So if you want to be wife material, you have to be moldable. You have to be coachable. If that triggers you or bothers you, that means that there is unresolved trauma somewhere. Either you've experienced it firsthand, or maybe you've had a bunch of bitter women around you who are seeing a whole bunch of bad examples, and that's bothering you because that's what you have in your mind. You need to heal up for your own self first and foremost, and then you can move forward and you can experience and embrace what's being discussed here, because it's a beautiful situation when you have that going on. But first, you have to get past your triggers. You have to overcome them. You have to grow, and you have to become greater than what you've been through. So I wish that for all y'all sisters out there, brothers. I wish that you all grow in your masculinity, grow in leadership, so you can become the type of man that is deserving of this sort of submission from your woman. So you can be the leader that she needs, so you can take your family into the future that is to come. Shout out to Sister Tashay Horner doing big things over there at the CC Zoo. We appreciate you. We love you. Big ups to Rick. Always been solid. You can definitely call that brother Go Get It, because if it's something that's worthwhile, you need a support on, he gonna go get it and make it happen with whatever he got. Always been there from day one. Big ups to the brother. And can't wait to chop it up with y'all next week.
Definitely.
Yay.
So, I appreciate each and everybody who tuned in. Yo, we love you. Thanks for keeping this program going and keeping it upbeat and the wonderful feedback that we're getting. So we'll see you guys next week. We're out.
Subscribe, share.
There you go.
I'm glad you said that.
Tell somebody to tell somebody. Tell somebody to tell somebody about us bodies.
Repost.
All right, so we out on that note. All right, peace out, family. Be easy, be safe.
Easy.
Bless.
Peace.
On the album, we do things like songs that are a little, what we call sexy. You can see from the title, it's more of a love album.